Well, well, well. We've made it back. We never left. We're still in our same clothes as episode 88.
I always hate that.
Well, maybe we should start bringing, another set of clothes to change into. That's what I used to do for my YouTube thumbnails, is that I'd find out what I was wearing in the video. So then when I go to take my thumbnail picture, I put on that shirt. And so then it looks like I took that thumbnail picture the same day or all that stuff. Towards the end, I started to not care as much because it's like, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's a lot of extra work that
didn't really need to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wait, so Callisto Protocol doesn't come out till December?
I thought you said soon.
I thought it came out next month.
I guess not, you fool. Yeah, I thought it was coming out in October.
I thought it was too.
Maybe it got delayed. And when it get delayed,
only 3 days ago they showed off the demo, and then there was something in the demo that people saw was like a date, and people think that Monday or Tuesday we're gonna get some information on it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Maybe they're like, it's coming out next week.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are. We're back for another episode in the studio doing podcast stuff. Is this going to be our extra episode?
This is going to be the backup episode, so we can really say a lot of messed up stuff and the chance that it might not ever be released. That's
Forbidden episode 2.0.
That's coming, and we might have to use that one.
We probably will.
Mm-hmm.
We probably will.
It might be out before. I don't know. That's gonna be like
we're blurring
pretty much 90% of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like beep, and you're just gonna have to fill in the blanks. Hopefully, nobody can read lips.
Also into the mouths too. That's a lot of work. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't have internet at home and it sucks. You should buy me a cellular router, Derek.
I should buy you?
Yeah.
I think
as a birthday gift.
I think shit. I dropped the cork.
As a birthday gift.
It's your birthday?
No. But it's coming up. You could be like, you know what? I bought this stupidly expensive fucking cellular router for you. So you can play video games with me and your friends. And I'll be like, wow. Hopefully it works.
Do you ever get scared that if, like, when you're holding a ring, that someone just comes up to you and be like, it's my birthday?
And they try to take it?
Yeah, they try to take it. They start strangling you. I have that.
Every time.
That's why I got a silicone ring, because I don't think anyone's going to try and, strangle me for the silicone ring.
That's why you didn't get a gold band. I
have a tungsten band. It's hypoallergenic.
I hate you.
That's what it is.
Are you allergic to certain stuff? Is that what you're saying?
I'm allergic to metals.
Gotcha.
Certain metals.
So am I.
So if I got a normal ring, my hand would just be itching constantly.
Yeah, fuck that. I am gonna get mine's gonna be a diamond, a big massive diamond, right? And then they carved it out and turned a diamond about this big into a ring that's like, for me. So the whole ring itself is not a metal, it's just just a diamond.
Oof.
Actually, I have dwarves looking for mithril, and then when they find the mithril, finally I will be turning that into my skin.
How many dwarves have died mining the mithril?
Hundreds.
Oh my god.
Hundreds. They're diving deep. They're diving real deep, I need it. To survive.
I think everybody needs it.
If we had mithril in real life, boy. I think the government's corrupt now. Boy, we'd have like bullets that could pierce anything.
I think they'd have to initiate the purge. The purge system.
Purge? all crime legal for 24 hours?
To keep everyone calm about the whole mithril thing, we're going to initiate the purge.
Since everybody found out we found mithril, we're just going to do a purge. And you know what? We'll probably do 2 every year just to spice it up.
But then, really, the government did that so, they can spike up the cost of mithril because, everyone wants it for armor because, stronger than iron, but lighter than...
A feather?
A feather.
Yeah. Woo! Didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a whole... They plan all this stuff out.
What if they wake the Balrog before they find the mithril?
That's a good possibility.
Dude. Have you watched the last 2 episodes of...
I don't think...
It would be 2 episodes since last time we were here.
The last one I watched was the one where they are talking about the mithril.
They found it.
Yeah, they found it. And they were mining it, and then the cave in. I don't think
Cave
I've watched.
collapse.
I don't think I've watched the one that happened this week.
There's one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know.
It's getting super boring.
It's so boring.
It's so slow. I'm like, okay, maybe the next episode's gonna start to pick up, and it's not.
I think it's gonna pick up after this episode.
I'm hoping
because
I think
there's.
I was talking to Tanner about this, and it's like,
is Tanner watching them?
No, he has. I asked if he started watching them, and he's like, I haven't gotten around to it yet, because he's like, I finished watching The Witcher. He thought that was really good.
He hasn't seen The Witcher?
He
watched that. Season 3 of Witcher 3 is coming out in December.
He watched the first season a while ago, but then he finally got around to watching the second season.
That show's a banger.
Yeah, that one's good. But he really liked that one. So I asked, like, oh, did you watch the Lord of the Rings? He goes, not yet. And we were talking, like, it's. I told him it's slow.
It's good.
I like it.
Slow.
It's slow. We came up with the thought of, how the Lord of the Rings movies, they're like 3 hours long. It was like a lot of that set up too.
Well, so the director's cut is almost 4 hours.
Yeah. So I think it's like, yeah, they're setting up, they're having a lot of time to set up, but something does have to happen here soon. That's 4 or 5 hours. That's nothing's happened.
Next episode, there's going to be a lot.
I got really fucking pissed off. Do you know the one, like, conservative guy that
oh my god, are you talking about fucking Ben Shapiro?
Not Ben Shapiro.
Did you see Ben Shapiro's going through and doing reviews on the episodes?
Well, because the other guy, he did the whole documentary on the, like, what is a woman question. I forget what.
Oh yeah. I know.
I saw a TikTok of him reviewing the part where Galadriel threw all the strong men soldiers into the jail, and he's like, yeah, so this is the woke culture that they're trying to protrude. It was like, yeah, woman power right here. I'm like, I did not
Jesus Christ, can you just watch the show? It's
fantasy.
It blows my mind that because a woman did that, they get so angry about it.
Yeah, they're like, how was she able to just...
Okay, here's an idea. She's like the strongest fucking elf in all of Middle Earth. Ever.
Thousands of years of combat experience. Yeah. Like, come on. What is this?
To a couple guards who probably are
I've never seen the battlefield.
That have probably... they've been in Numenor guards since the beginning of Numenor, and they haven't fought since that first fucking battle, which, may I add, was technically won by the elves. So... they're like super strong, like pretty much astral beings almost. Like,
yeah, I'm like, bro,
why you gotta look into it even like that though? It's just a fucking show. Just sit down and enjoy.
Now here's the thing: if you watched a John Wick movie and you watch him kill 10 people with a pencil, he wouldn't flinch an eye. He'd be like,
no, he'd be like, all men could do that.
All men can do that.
That's a normal thing.
But he killed 10 men. Like, how come those other 10 men didn't have that?
All men could do that.
It's infuriating. It's like, bro,
it's just it's cringy.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not watching it because of this. I'm like, then I don't want to hear your opinion about movies ever.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's that, and the why I brought up, I thought you were talking about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's doing the same thing. And he's acting as if he's like this huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I know he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have read the books, but like he can't even pronounce the fucking characters' names. And he forgets about the characters' names, which automatically rules him out as somebody I think like knows what he's talking about. And that's fine. He can make things, but they're only talking about Lord of the Rings, Amazon's thing, because it's Amazon first of all, and they're like, you know, huge supporters of like Amazon, and you get what I mean. Like the business, you know what I'm saying. So like Amazon, and Amazon's a huge topic. Amazon alone is a hot topic already. Like him, the owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos is a hot topic, so they always bring him up. And then because there's a lot of people bitching about there being black elves, or like a lot of female characters are portrayed as very strong characters in Rings of Power, which is probably a minor difference than what like if the movie was made years ago, right? But it really doesn't fucking matter. Just watch the fucking movie, and if you don't like it, then don't watch it.
Yeah, I think trying to watch a movie and be like, I'm not going to watch it because it's supporting this woke culture. It's like, well, here's the problem with it. If they don't, I'm not saying like they're trying to cater, which they kind of are, but like they're catering.
They are, but it's also like a new time. So like now it doesn't really matter. So what? Most of the actors and actresses or most of the main characters are actresses over actors. Like who fucking cares?
Yeah.
There's still actors in it.
I think even like the whole, oh well, there was no black people in.
That's wrong.
It's like
that's not true.
But who cares even? Just
I know.
It's just it's them portraying an interpretation of the Tolkien.
Those people who complain about it are outing themselves. Those are the same people who are like, well, I'm not a racist. It's just they're.
It's just wrong.
Because they're going to this woke culture. I'm like, bro, woke culture really isn't that big of a deal if you just live your life normally. It really does not affect you that much.
I think what they've done is they've made the best decision on staying with the woke culture for the fact of this. If they went ahead and did the whole, okay, all white male cast and whatnot, right, to stay true to the lore,
sure,
but they're always going to change something about the show to keep it different from the books because,
well, they also don't own all the rights.
They also don't own all the rights and all that stuff. So either way, they're going to piss off the like diehard fans.
Yeah.
But now, if they also did that with all white people, you're going to have that woke culture get super pissed about it. They're going to be up in arms. Yeah. So now they're going to cater to the woke culture because no matter what, the diehard fans are still going to fucking hate the show. So
it's funny though, because they always use that aspect of like, well, that's not how it was years ago. That's not how he wrote it. That's not how it's written. That's not how it's this. That's not how it's that. And I'm like, who cares? Like, you're using that as a way to say like you're not racist or sexist. That's what it is. Like by saying like, well, that's not how he wrote it. Yeah, but he didn't make the fucking show.
No.
He's not even alive. You know, like he's not here.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of this stuff, he's made the 4 books, and then he's got the Silmarillion, which I don't really quite understand. That's like a general.
He has tons of journals.
He has like the ideas and stuff
of ideas, the alphabets, the lore, his story beyond the books that he wrote and published. Yes, this world has been created by him entirely. Everything. But also, hobbits were written as brown-skinned people.
Mm-hmm. Or at least one of the families were.
Right.
I thought like the Brandyfoot or something.
They're in there.
Yeah.
And to say that there's like no... Because elves are supposed to be pure and all that, they think that like they have to be like light-skinned people. Who fucking cares, bro? You can't tell me that there's no dark-skinned elves. Come on. That's just retarded.
Who cares?
And then, it's the same thing with the fucking Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
the new Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It's a bunch of grown men.
Who aren't going to watch it.
Yeah, who aren't watching it. Grown-ass white men who aren't going to watch it. Getting mad because they casted a black woman as Ariel.
Yeah, they just want to sell. They just want to see the trailer
They're
as
like, well,
a white woman, and then for them to just go, "That's right.
they're like,
that's how it should
well,
be," and then they're not going to watch it.
Ariel's white in the cartoon. It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, there's no
It's
like.
not even a real character.
Yeah.
If she was a real mermaid, she'd have fucking scales and gills and what the fuck, dude?
The fish vagina.
There's a black mermaid in the original cartoon.
Yeah, I can't believe like how stubborn
It's so
we've become.
fucking stupid. And it's I think it's ruining Lord of the Rings of Power, because you have people who just follow reviews and they don't want to watch it because they're like, oh, well, they changed a bunch of shit. And they're seeing these bad reviews of like all that stuff. I will say, it's boring.
Yeah,
It's boring.
I agree.
But I still get really excited to watch it. And I love it because I love seeing Galadriel and what she did prior, what they think she did prior to the movies. I love seeing Lord Elrond as a young elf through his politics.
I love
to
seeing
get to where he got.
I think
the dwarves, man.
I think Elrond and Durin's story is probably
It's
my
so
favorite.
good.
Yeah,
It's so
I love
good.
that. Anything with the dwarves, I'm like, I am in. I
Yeah.
love seeing this. I think this was one of the things in Lord of the Rings we've been kind of kept in the dark about as far as the films.
Yeah, and you see this like growing racial hate between the elves and the dwarves when they find the mithril in the next episode. And then like you'll see Elrond and Doran, or Elrond, struggle with the fact that he's an elf, so he's got to stay true to the elven race, but his best friend is a dwarf, so he's like stretched between these decisions. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Galadriel, like going through everything. I will say, I think Galadriel's a little bit of a whiner, a little bit of like a hothead, and I don't know if that's just like her character now, which is kind of cringy and annoying, but like I don't care that she's like a warrior.
Yeah.
And she fights people and she's good at fighting. And she threw a couple guards in the fucking cell. What the fuck?
Yeah, like,
well, they probably didn't like what she did in the next episode, because she ends up fighting like
wait, hold
6
on.
or 7
So
people
they
at
were
the same time.
they were complaining that she threw 4 guards into a cell, but where was the complaining when she pretty much alone, killed that frost troll with like a couple slices of her sword?
Well, the frost troll's not a male. It's not
Oh,
a
how do you
white
know it?
male. It's just
I don't know. That troll.
Well,
did
the
seem
troll
kinda,
could have been a boy. I mean, like,
Yeah, but
it's not a human. If that was a human male,
then she'd stand no chance.
and he would just decimate her, because that's a
he's
boy.
He's
And
a male.
boys are stronger than all girls.
It's scientifically proven. Yes.
Girls are not allowed to be stronger
but
than men.
aren't trolls depicted to be stronger than men, or is that just fairy tale as well? That fantasy.
It's hard to tell. It's hard they didn't complain about it, so I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't bring up their facts, their side of the story.
It's mind blowing. As a whole, the show's good. It's very slow, but like you guys were saying, the very first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship. All right, so Fellowship of the Ring, that's the first one.
Yes.
The movie, there's no action in that movie till when Boromir just gets absolutely decimated by arrows, like till the end, really. I mean, there's a little bit. You have some of the riders and Aragorn fighting the Nazgul and stuff, but there's no like.
Yeah, it's a lot of setup for their journey.
Fucking battle scene. So like that whole movie, which is almost 4 hours if you watch the director's cut, there's like, the Shire portion of the movie, which is the best part of the movie, may I add, is like 45 minutes almost in the director's cut. That's like a whole episode of Ring of Power. So, maybe if it doesn't pick up in the next episode, I'm going to be pissed, because in the last episode that you haven't seen, there's a lot of scenes where you're like, oh, it's happening. Here we go. Battle. Cut to a different fucking part. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell?
I need for it to be a Lord of the Rings, I need to see a large scale battle.
Fuck, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons has already had massive battles in it, and we're only fucking an episode ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm talking
Awesome
about.
battles, like almost to Battle of the Bastards. Awesome.
Mhm.
That first like battle on the beach was so fucking cool in House of Dragons. So I'll be real with you. I'm more excited to watch House of Dragons right now than I am Lord of the Rings, and that sucks for me
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
because I wanted that to be the greatest thing ever.
I feel real sorry for you.
Yeah, you're not even watching House of Dragons.
No, I'm trying to convince my dad to get HBO so we can watch it together. Because we used to, when Game of Thrones came out, I would drive over to his house, and we would watch it together.
You need to get it because of House of Dragons being as good as it's doing right now. They've already signed for the prequel to all of Game of Thrones called 10,000 Ships, and a sequel to Game of Thrones starring Jon Snow.
Nice.
Yeah. So what happens with everything after everybody takes their thrones and stuff in Game of Thrones? And it's already like it's happening.
Cool.
So
Cool.
you probably want to get it. I'm a little afraid they're gonna ring it out though, like they're doing Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but it's also kind of I like it. It's fun.
Andor, I've heard a lot of great things. I need to
Andor,
start.
fucking awesome. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, I heard everyone's saying this is better than like the Mandalorian.
Oh,
and
it's so much better. It's awesome. I won't say anything about it, but there's 3 episodes already because they released 3 episodes. It is fucking awesome. It's really good. It's definitely knocks Book of Boba out of the water. Like it's everything Book of Boba should have been.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's great. It's kind of nice to just like not be tied in with like characters you're super super familiar with and seeing like a different aspect of like the world. But it leads up to the movie Rogue One.
Yes.
But
yeah.
It's the same guy from Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. So I would definitely recommend watching that one. Did you watch Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I watched Obi-Wan. That one was all right.
So Book of Boba is the only one you haven't finished.
Yeah, I just...
Season 3 for Mandalorian, the trailer came out for that.
I saw that. It was pretty good.
And that looks good, too.
Mm-hmm.
All you missed is... Because, like, people coming in probably were like, well, I thought he left him. Because you won't know that unless you watch Book of Boba, but you didn't really miss much.
Mm-hmm.
They meet back up.
Yeah, well, I saw even that in the trailer for...
I'm sure they'll recap it at the beginning of season 3.
Mm.
They'll recap Book of Boba scenes on top of Mandalorian season 2 scenes. Because there's like 3 episodes in Book of Boba where it has nothing to do with Boba Fett. It's just the Mando, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
And that was the most.
Those were the best episodes.
Those are the best episodes.
Sorry, I'm playing with this spring.
I'm gonna ruin it.
Nah.
So,
there's a lot of good shows to watch, I guess.
yeah, I just wish people wouldn't be so picky about the...
Oh. Do you think people aren't going to go see the new M. Night Shyamalan movie?
What one's that?
Have you seen the trailer for it yet? It's called Knock on the Cabin.
Yeah,
I think it's about the 4 Horsemen. I think that's the twist.
I thought it was a sequel. I think it was like a prequel to Cabin in the Woods.
No.
It's not?
No. Is Cabin in the Woods M. Night Shyamalan movie?
I don't know. I just know that like the Cabin in the Woods is kind of the same deal, but it's like it's a lot more modernized because these people go to the cabin.
I think that's it. Yeah, but there's like monsters and shit under the cabin and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's like a whole science division of like people. They're like they know unless they sacrifice these people, then the world's gonna end. So they have like a whole lab of all these monsters, and when they go into the basement, whatever they like pick up decides like what they throw at them to kill them.
No, that's not an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Okay.
So I do not think it has anything to do with Cabin in the Woods.
Dave Bautista's in it.
In what?
Knock Knock Cabin.
Yes, the big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it looks good. But I'm saying, like, do you think people won't go see it because it's a gay couple? The family.
Oh yeah. people. Yeah, there's gonna be people that aren't gonna see it because it's
this is kind of. I won't say it on the podcast. I'll say it off the podcast.
Now, see, I'm not gonna go watch it because I'm just not interested. So I'm not gonna care if they're gay or not.
You're not gonna go see it? I probably won't see it in theaters.
Yeah, I probably won't see it. Maybe if
I don't watch a lot of movies, but if it like pops up on a streaming service, I'll watch it. If it's about, I think it's about the like 4 horsemen. I think that's like, you know how he always has like a twist.
Mm-hmm.
My speculation is like those 4 that show up are the horsemen, here to wage the apocalypse.
But no, they're preventing the apocalypse,
right? But they're giving them the option to.
Like, hey, if you make the right choice.
If you make the right choice. Because he says if you make the right choice, I don't think they're telling them what the choice is. You know?
One of the first things that pops up is Knock at the Cabin a sequel to Cabin in the Woods. So,
I hope not.
I thought it was just for the whole, like, if you guys make the decision to save the world, and then it's also in a cabin.
Yeah, it's just.
I thought, like, those things kind of lined up. Let's see.
You want to make. I mean, I guess you could still have different directors for that stuff.
It's based off a book.
I don't think it is. Oh, man. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, you could get fiber optic internet everywhere? That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. It's not really telling me anything. Yeah, it probably isn't.
I don't think it is. What's our time at?
27.
Oh, wow. I thought we were going longer. We've been going longer than that. We're almost at the end, but
We could call it good here.
it's a lot of movie talk and a lot of episode talk. I still need to watch The Boys. I'm only 2 episodes into that.
Yeah, you do got to watch that.
But like right when I started watching it, I packed up all my shit the next day.
Yeah, just finish The Boys, and then you got a while before the next season comes out. As with any of these shows that are coming out, but
well, we got Witcher coming out in December. The rest of Andor, the rest of Lord of the Rings. I have House of Dragons. So there's still a lot that I'm watching. But like as of like full like catching up, The Boys is the only thing I'm watching. I can't think of anything else that I want to watch. Oh, I watched Dahmer.
Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer show on Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
I watched it all. It's
you finally watched a serial killer show?
It's boring.
Is it?
It's fucking terrible. It's not, but it's not a show. It's not a show about like it's a show about the serial killer. I don't like documentaries about serial killers. It's not a documentary.
Yeah, it's like a replay of it.
It's a reenactment of like what went through. Those are cool. I don't like documentary ones.
Oh, you should watch the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, that's what CJ was saying.
I just watched that.
Yeah.
With Ryan or Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. And who else was in that? The guy who plays the Hulk, the Bruce Banner guy, I forget his name. But that one's kind of it kind of shows you because it's one of the greatest unsolved murder crimes in history because they never found the guy, and then right before they thought they had him, he died of a heart attack before the next
or whatever
like investigation on him.
Yeah, like,
but it's so confusing because there would be like all these, man, this guy fits the perfect profile, but then there was like, well, we had these prints of the killer. He didn't match those prints, so that they were like, well, so there would be all these like, this guy's good for this part of the crime, this part's good for this part of the crime, but like every eyewitness would show that it was only one guy. There was no
people.
There was no multiple people. So it was just so weird how they could not get enough evidence to nail this guy, or like they couldn't find anything at his house. It's pretty wild how it just played out. Cause oh,
I'll have to watch it. Like I said, I find it weird. I watched all of the Dahmer one, and like I said, it was boring, but it was good. Like, it was good. Would I watch it again? No, I have no reason to watch it again. But I already knew a lot about Jeffrey Dahmer, so like it was cool to see like some of the killings, because I was like, oh yeah, this is the first. I just knew the name. I was like, this is the first dude he knocks out. And then like, but there was a lot of like outside stuff where it wasn't not about Jeffrey Dahmer, but it was more about like families that were involved, like the families and how it affected the families, which was fine. But a lot of that I felt was like just added shit for the show.
Yeah.
And then there was like I liked him in prison, the time that he was in prison. You saw him get fucking murked in the bathroom like he did in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Except they don't show it. They don't do it exactly the same, because in real life they took a broomstick and put a broomstick in his butt and it came out his fucking mouth.
Yeah, they like brutalized him.
Yeah, but in this, obviously, they don't do that. This dude like beats the crap out of him. But anyways, which isn't a spoiler. You should already know that. Another reason I don't like these kinds of movies, weirdo people glorify the murderers and shit in it.
Oh,
and then they get all like weirded about because like the actor's attractive, so then they're like, oh, he's attractive. I'm like, bro, the point of this actor playing this part is not for you to feel attracted to him because the actor's attractive.
Well,
I know that like yes, they were
like,
known to be attractive men, but you know now that they are fucking monsters. Like, you should not have any attraction to them at all.
Like Ted Bundy, he had a huge following of people thought he was just so attractive.
Right,
and
he was an attractive man though. But I'm saying though, like, it's like now. I'm not saying like back then, the people who glorified it. I'm saying like people now who watch these Netflix series, they get all like weirded and like glorified the actors and shit.
Yes, yeah.
And it's really, really weird. It's cringy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like the Disney people who want to like have sex with all the kids in the Disney shows.
Yeah.
It's weird and it shouldn't be a thing. Just watch the show and be like, wow, this guy's disgusting, a monster. And what was I going to say? The Dahmer show though, like it was good. He did a really good job at being really fucking weird. The guy was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Fuck, there was something else I was going to say about the whole aspect of... Oh, I find it weird that Netflix makes so much money off of these things. And it's like shows about like people dying. Like, it's kind of like they're making money off of the death of
those murders.
Of those murders.
The murders, yeah.
And it feels weird. Because like at the end, I was like, wow, I can't believe I watched that whole thing. And then they show like the photos of all the people who were murdered. And I'm like, because these people were murdered, Netflix is making millions of dollars off of the fact that they died. And like, I don't like that. It's weird for me. And that's fine if people like watching it. But I watched it, and the only reason I watched it, I wouldn't have ever watched that, because you know I don't watch that stuff, is because CJ and Alyssa were watching it. So like, obviously I'm like, oh, you get sucked in by scenes.
Yeah.
So I finished it. It was only 10 episodes, and we watched it the whole day. But like at the end, I was like, and Netflix makes another $1 million off the death of 15 young kids. Mm-hmm. So it's just weird. I know, like, obviously families sign off on that, and they do it for like, well, it's so you can be aware of what's around you. You know, I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Some of them are really good. They're entertaining. It's entertaining to watch the mind of somebody that's a monster like this, because you're like, what the fuck? We're never going to understand it, though. So,
but we're just so fascinated with trying to figure it out.
Of course, but we will never understand somebody's individual mind. Like, every time they tried, like, they dissected, what's the dude who was killing all the kids? The clown. John Wayne Gacy. They dissected his brain and found out that his brain is just a normal brain. There was nothing going on in his brain.
The only thing they found is when they do like MRI scans or like brain scans, that there is like the like activity in there's slightly different, but there's
Yeah,
no
but
like
everybody's brain has like you're either a left side thinker or a right side thinker. Your activity is different from
but they can
everybody.
still like those are normal left side thinker, normal right side thinker, but then like serial killers, left side, right side, their brain patterns completely different from even those two.
Yeah.
They've only seen that, but then there's even like we don't really know
but
why.
we don't know why it's like that.
Yeah,
like,
and it's always
who's
just
to think that like somebody who's never murdered anybody has those thoughts all the time, but has just never murdered anybody.
Yeah.
So we will never know the individual thought behind why that person did it, unless that person said it. But even then, you don't know if that person's lying. You'll never ever know.
Well, you know,
why he actually did
the Son of Sam. He was a famous killer in New York. He pretty much, but we don't know any of it. But he would always go around when he was like in court to tell people like, "Oh, I heard voices from the devil."
Yeah, a lot of them say that too.
But then I think
Usually
he
it's like
comes out
schizophrenia.
and he like came out and said that, "Oh, I made that shit up." But it's like, well, I don't know when you were telling the truth. Of like, were you telling the truth then, or are you telling the
They're
truth
fucking
now?
crazy murderers. Like,
Yeah.
Dahmer literally said like, everybody he killed, he was attracted to. Like, he was not like just picking guys to just kill. He was attracted to him, and he was just fucked up. He had no idea. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know, he even said, he's like, just give me the fucking chair. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just do it. I get satisfied from doing it. It's just like if somebody gets satisfied from like driving a car. It's that weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who's that one guy? There's like this big glasses wearing guy. I forget his name, but he was going around killing people, and he'd always say, it was because of his mother. I mean, he was abused by his mother, so he'd take his rage out on these girls, and he wasn't getting caught, but then it was driving him nuts of like not knowing when police were going to show up. He turned himself in, and then he confessed to all of it and like why he was doing it. And so then he was in jail, and like he was such a model prisoner and stuff, and he served his sentence that they were like, all right, you're free to go. He actually requested like, keep me in here, because he's like, I know as soon as I go out there, I'm gonna just keep doing it. So he's been staying in jail voluntarily.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some people are just wired wrong.
Yeah, it's just
or something triggers that brain, and it just
it's a compulsion and
entirely.
like a.
Because like Dahmer said that he was sexually attracted to organs. And
who
he
isn't?
liked he liked the shimmering of the organs, and that's like a male. That's like an actual male. Like, old, what's it called? Like, prehistoric, like connection for men. And like obviously some people act on that different than men now, but like it's normal for guys, because like also like the female sex organ is like, you know what, I'm not trying not to just like say it on the podcast, but there's a reason that men are attracted to it.
We've said worse things on the podcast.
You know what I'm talking about though. Like you know why you're attracted to that, and it's like they like talk about it and it's weird talking about the show, because like you don't know what was added for the show to be interesting for the show, and most of it was pretty accurate, but he talked to a therapist, and the therapist said like, oh, you have this, and there's a term for it, and he's like, yes, it's normal for men to be attracted to the shimmering color of like flesh, because like the female sex organ, you know, shimmers and stuff like that. But Dahmer was gay. So that's where like all that confusion came in for him. You know, he didn't get that without killing and like dismembering bodies.
Yeah.
To see that. So I don't know And nobody knows like if that was why, because he just like never was attracted to women. He just was gay. So,
Jeez, you don't have to insult the man. He's already dead.
fuck that dude. Fuck that guy. I'm glad he's dead. Fuck him. No, I don't care. It's not because he's gay. It's because he killed fucking 15 fucking people.
Yeah. I don't know.
One of which was 14 years old.
That's kind of hard to tell.
He molested a 14-year-old, butchered him, and then fucking ate parts of him, and then stored his head in his apartment. Fuck that guy.
You can't find it in your heart to forgive him?
No. Fuck him. It would be different if I found out Jeffrey Dahmer was going around molesting and killing other rapists. Like he targeted. No, I'd adore him if he went around and he targeted rapists and was murdering rapists and then like eating them. Okay, that's a little weird, but I mean, but at least you're killing rapists.
That's a weird side hobby, but
yeah, at least you're killing
up the streets.
At least you're killing rapists. You're not killing a 14-year-old kid who can't speak English. So I mean, you don't have to eat them. You don't have to eat them, but like you can just. You could go out and kill a rapist and then like butcher it and do what you want with it.
Okay.
But you don't have to eat it, you know? Just throw it away.
It's kind of a package deal.
Oh, just throw it away.
Yeah, but it seems kind of wasteful.
Fuck it. It is a monster. It's already a monster. Like, do you want to would you eat tainted meat? That's tainted meat. You know?
It's not pure.
It's not pure meat. He's out there. It's a rapist. So it's like, get rid of, that's tainted.
I'm sure there's a cooking point to, cook the sin out of it.
Cook the sin out of a rapist?
Oh my gosh.
There's a boiling point.
Nah, dude. But yeah, fuck that guy. And
Your camera's really blurred again.
I'm blurry?
Yeah.
It's Dahmer's ghost.
Yeah. He's like, whoa, dude.
Whoa, bro. I loved all those guys. Fuck you, dude. Yeah. If you like those shows, I would watch it.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
It's a good watch, but yeah. I think his grandma knew about it too. His grandma never said anything.
There's so many like freaky things with all that. Like have you heard of the toy box man or whatever, or the guy with the toy box? He pretty much would abduct these women, R-word them, and then torture them for his pleasure. But he had his whole family involved in it, like his wife, his daughter, his brother, or not his brother, his like sons. They were all like a part of it, and like. The only reason that one of them escaped was because one of the daughters was in the room that the woman was like tied down in, and she was able to get free, and she like whacked her across the head. But it's like, bro, how do you get like your whole family involved and like for all of them to be like, yeah, this is all right, this is good.
They're all monsters, man. I don't know. Just people are wired different.
It's disturbing, man.
Have you ever?
I think we do need to purge.
Oh, I think we do too, but. I don't like humans, so I think we're gross.
It's very serial killer of you, Connor.
No, it's not very smart of me. Okay, we're the fucking worst. We have serial killers. What animal goes around and just kills people for sport? Kills the same animal for sport? There's not very many animals that do that.
Republicans?
Easy. You could say it for both sides, honestly.
Yeah, no,
I just meant like there's no other animal in the animal kingdom that I can think of. I'm sure there is. That like
none of them would go out to kill just to kill. It's always kill for survival.
Right, but not only that, the same type of animal. You very rarely see like lions preying on other lions or wolves preying on other wolves.
The only time they do that is usually for
fighting
territory and breeding purposes.
Right.
It's never like.
But it's never like, you know what? I'm just a male lion that woke up today and I want to just murder as many male lions as I can see, or female lion or cubs, just because I can.
They won't kill the cubs.
Huh?
They will kill the cubs.
They will kill the
Yeah,
cubs
but
in
most-
the new pack.
Most animals. do that.
They kill
Fuck,
the.
I think humans would. I think humans would kill babies more often if it wasn't. Because babies, bro, they'll drive you fucking crazy.
Jesus.
So, you know,
This is gonna have to be another forbidden episode.
no, it's
Yeah,
just
it
true.
is.
I mean, come on. There's
Oh.
not one parent who's like, "Oh yeah, it's been awesome this whole time." No way, dude. There's times where you're just like, "Oh,
Well, I mean,
shut the fuck up."
I mean, there have been those parents.
Yeah, of
that stuff
course.
does happen.
And they're monsters, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
Nah,
I meant like,
the real monsters are the ones that, like vegans and vegetarians, where
Yeah,
they
fuck those guys.
malnourish their children because they
yeah.
of their like
I
morals
thought you
and
meant
stuff.
just like them
Oh, yeah.
alone.
I agree with
Like
that.
Tanner?
Yeah,
Fuck him.
Fuck Tanner.
Fuck Tanner. He thinks he's better than us because he doesn't eat meat.
Tanner's always thought he's better than us, but now since he doesn't eat meat, I know for a fact I'm better than him.
Ooh.
Because what's gonna happen? Tanner and I are gonna be on a desert island, just me and him, and
The only thing on the island, there's no plants. There's just pigs.
no, it's just me and him.
Oh.
And it's just like when it comes down to it, I'm like, well, Tanner, I think I'm gonna kill you, because I'm willing to eat your meat, and he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
eat
like,
you.
well, I'm not willing to eat you. So I'm like, well,
Sucks
get
to
over
suck.
here.
Dude, would you eat human meat?
For survival or for curiosity?
Survival is a different style. Of course, I think most people would eat if it was the last resort. You would have to. Your instincts would kick in. I'm talking about just like testing it. It's an organ donor. Here, let's make it more sane here. An organ donor said, I want my meat, untainted meat, by the way. This is just a normal person who worked a 9 to 5 every day, paid his bills, had a loving wife, had a great family. He died though because like he just died in his sleep one night. The best way to go, right? Didn't even know. They donate his body for testing, and one of the tests is like human meat patties. Why? I don't know. Just some company was being weird.
You know what? I think I would give it a try.
I'd try it.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
What race is he? He or she?
It's a boy. Well, it's whatever, just a person.
Why don't they just get one of every race and one of each sex, throw it in a meat grinder, and then that way it's just kind of just mixed together.
What if they take all the meat from they take a person of every race and male and female or whatever else, and they get them all, and they these are all donated bodies. This is not a weird fucking Dahmer thing. They're all donated bodies, and they put them on plates, the meat, and it's cooked or whatever. You can't tell which is which. Like they put beef and shit in here too. I think you would definitely be able to distinguish the taste. Because you can distinguish the taste between
beef,
like
deer,
beef and deer, but they look pretty much the same. Like you can
I
distinguish.
don't know. I mean, I'd have to try it first to see. Like, oh, I know that's human.
right. I'll never know.
I mean, don't humans taste like pork? Apparently.
Katie, how do you know
that, Katie? I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
I think
that's only for. I thought that was only for cops.
we're because we're fatty. Maybe. I think that's why pork tastes like pork, isn't it? Because it's really fatty. I don't fucking know. I'm not a butcher. I'm not a butcher, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe it does. We'll probably never know though.
I think everyone should know. So just in case they go to a restaurant, and what if it's like,
what if like the
I think-
owner's a murderer?
I think you're serving human meat here. It's like,
Sir.
sir, that's just pork.
Sir, that's pork.
It's
Sir,
it's pulled pork.
I've tasted human meat, and this is human meat. I can tell. So, speaking of pulled pork and human meat, in the show, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Dahmer show, he tries to feed his neighbor a pulled pork sandwich, but it's human meat.
So a pulled human.
Pulled human sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Gross.
In
All
a survival situation, I'm eating everybody. I ain't dying.
I'm not either.
I ain't fucking dying. I'll eat my toes and fingers. Not mine first, but other people's, and then like, of course, I want to keep my body good.
Well, we need to end this episode because I have to pee really bad, and we're also hitting another 50-minute
Oh,
episode.
whoa! We kind of did like 2 episodes in this one. A lot of movie talk in here, but then we got into this whole
Serial killers.
serial killer thing. But it lined up with the movies. Okay, we're ending the episode. We have shit to do today, and
And I'm gonna go pee.
I gotta take a shit.
Oh, Connor, you wanna while you take a shit, like you open up your legs and then I pee in between your legs and just
Sure. You could cut the log off my butthole as it comes out, like a little paper cutter. Oh, here it comes.
Or like, what if I just have a steady stream and then as it comes down, it
Splits it in
splits
two.
it.
I'm down with that, dude. That sounds cool.
The log splitter.
Imagine how fucking hard you'd have to pee just to split a log like that.
Maybe if I was hard, my pee would come out
Alright.
stronger.
Let's end the episode.
Alrighty.
We're ending it.